Thanks to all our active patrons who have contributed a lifetime of $100 or more to reach Garuk Dong level status.
Here is the list of those special patrons in order of contributions.
If you would like to support our show, check out the Commander UnSmiths at patreon.com. Welcome to the... Oh, dang it. I have Lowery. You messed
You
up.
cannot minimize Zoom while recording this meeting.
Welcome to the Commander UnSmiths.
We are the Commander UnSmiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
And I'm Lowery Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
Oh, this is the shit show. This is the freaking...
Welcome to the shit show, the Unset.
God
What is this one called again?
What are we doing? I have
Yeah,
no
what
idea.
is-
What we're
what
doing. I think we have like a mix of Fave 5 and we're doing
Unfinity.
Unfinity.
No, what's the set called? I don't even
Yeah,
know
it's
what
Unfinity.
it's called. It's so stupid.
It's don't show your heart. Don't show your hand here.
Well, I'll show my whatever. I
Oh,
want. It's our podcast.
It's turning
I'm
into a
gonna-
rated R thing.
I'll
Although-
flash eventually.
We haven't been flagged for anything yet for swearing or anything, so I think we're staying under the radar.
Yeah, because they don't care. They know we're not gonna like. They listen to the first 30 minutes of this thing. They're like, "Oh, this ain't gonna go nowhere." They've peaked.
If you guys are live watching, you probably know that we moved the cast up because there's a lot of things that happen.
Yep.
Hurricane Ian hit, and it so happens to hit exactly where my business and our one of our VRBO homes that we have, and it did damage. Let's just say it did a lot of damage, and so I'm actually going to be packing up this weekend and heading down. I don't know how long, and so we're at least doing the first week ahead of time, and then I'm bringing my whole thing. So I'm bringing the
You're bringing it all.
I'm bringing the mixer. I'm bringing everything.
I was telling you not
microphone.
to, but that's fine.
I mean,
He's dedicated. He's so dedicated.
I have the case for
Every
it. You know,
chance
so.
that I'm like, hey, we don't have to do this. And he's like, no, I'm going to. I'm going to dedicate a whole entire space to bringing this down.
And actually, I bought
okay.
a portable battery life thing because the problem is my computer battery like blew up, and then I bought a new one.
Okay.
And I put that one in, and it works to keep the computer alive and not blowing up. But as soon as I unplug it, it gives me like 3 minutes and then it dies. So I got this.
That's not a good battery.
Yeah, and no, it's bad.
But like, I mean, let's be honest. Last time this happened, like 4 or 5 years ago, you're saying you didn't have power down in that area for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So that's
and this
also
is worse.
Right. This is a lot worse because of how the hurricane situated itself. Here comes a little bit of nerd knowledge, weather nerd stuff. That's what if you guys don't know, that's what I went to school for. And so I still have that in my system. But the hurricane, what it did was not only did it go north, like when it goes north of whatever is south of that location, the wind, it's counterclockwise. So it's pulling it in. Any water, like just think of like if a storm over a lake, when it's really windy, you get huge waves and it pushes the water. Well, not only the low pressure pulling the water in with the storm surge, but then you have this circulation, 150 mile an hour winds pushing that water in. And so what it did is it approached Florida and then stopped right where Cape Coral, Fort Myers area is. And this sat there for like a couple hours and just kept pushing in 150 mile an hour winds. And then it decided to go into landfall and went right over Cape Coral. The eye actually, I think, hit most of our property. Like you went over the top of it. Cause I was texting with one of our staff members there. I was like, how you doing? How you doing? You okay? And then it took 8 hours for it to move on. So it was a complete 8 hour thing of 100+ mile an hour winds. And as you can tell by videos and pictures today, Fort Myers Beach is like non-existent at this point. Every building that was there is pretty much either gone. Or just has to be demolished. And my mom's place is on the river, which is up a little bit further. It's like the Tattagooch River. It's a weird long name. But she's only feet from the water, from the like high tide. It's only like 3 or 4 feet away from her house. Well, that was like 15 feet. So that her place is most likely not even
just
there anymore.
Flooded.
So yeah. So we
Wow.
decided
Wow.
we were kind of talking when it was going yesterday. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen. And then today we are just like, let's just get this podcast going because I'm heading down there. Let's get our next week stuff. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah,
I hope
it's kind of sucks.
I hope people were
it's
the
on
least amount affected. Like,
Yeah.
just I hope that it didn't hurt anybody.
It sounds like there's
only,
like 12 at least so far deaths so far down there.
Yeah, I mean,
But I mean, we
it
were
just
seeing
sounds awful.
pictures and video of people that were out like in the freaking surf, like when it was coming in, and it was just like,
Wild.
God, you're idiots. And that area, well, I think the pier is completely gone there. So what they were like grabbing onto, it doesn't even exist anymore. It's just fucking crazy. So, anyways, drinking for the second time this week, which I don't normally do. I'm actually having a Moscow Mule because I don't have any beer left. So I was like, what do I have? I don't want to go buy beer. Yeah. And we're not doing so you guys can donate, but oh God, why am I getting that death thing again? Let's see if your video comes back.
It's happening.
Yeah.
It's
everything
happening.
that's going to go wrong. I have to have my audio.
We're fine.
You're not there anymore.
That's okay. This is the best version of the Commander UnSmiths at this point.
Let me get this.
It's
Hang
like
on. I can figure it out.
I am going to be drinking a Brett
There you go.
Noir,
You
which
were
is from Area 2 Experimental Brewing. This is like it's an ale brewed with Pinot Noir grapes and Brett Brooks. Bro, I don't really know what that means. But it's all right.
It's all right. I'm having my Moscow Mule is I'm going to be mixing them up as we're doing the cast and stuff. So anyways, no shots for us tonight. And it might not be shots for a little bit until we get back and all that stuff. We'll see.
No, but we were all caught up finally.
Mhm.
So,
hey, we planned that out. We do have jelly beans though. We can do those today.
shit. Yeah. We can do that.
Because we owe how many jelly beans we owe Ibukaki.
No.
You wrote it down.
No. Yeah, I had to figure out where, because I tossed those notes, but I transferred them. So we owe Black Horizon 3 jelly beans and Hockey 1.
Okay. So we could do that between segments and stuff like that. We'll get that going.
Yeah, we can do that.
We do have an Stump the Smith Savant. It's Andy S from the Discord is going to be trying to stump you this week, round 14.
Bring it.
And we have Joda foil for the giveaway there. We are talking Unfinity, so we have our Fave 5s and then just a discussion. Really, it's more of the discussion. The Fave 5s are going to be whatever. And then what do we have for staple verses this week?
We're going to do Abrade. Adam's going to be representing Abrade, and I am going to be doing Rip Apart. That's what we decided, right? Not Wear and Tear?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
I don't know. I can wing it either way.
Well, yeah, I almost for a second there, I was like, oh shit, did I do the wrong one? Like do that again this week? All right. So yeah, we got a quick one. This most likely
Mentor of the meek
won't be a 2-hour podcast. Knock on wood. We'll see. I mean, we're not taking shots, so we don't have that the liquid courage to make us keep talking. I mean, it's more of our.
Well, that might give last week or on Monday we stayed up until like midnight chatting after the cast, which we normally do, and then I was like, "Whoa!" I just got really drunk.
Well, and then we stayed up for another hour. We got done at 1 o'clock. It was Jesus. 1 a.m. and I was like, I gotta get up for the bus in a little bit.
I was so drunk. I stayed up until 3:30.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I got up at 7. Easy.
Oh my God.
Not easy.
Were you hungover? Like what the hell?
I was planning on working and I was like, I'm gonna stay home.
I'm gonna die.
I'm just gonna edit the cast and
yeah, dude, you got that done so quick. Like you got that. I was like, whoa, okay. I already got that edited. Like, how did you do that quick?
Away.
It was really
right
fast.
away. Then worked on the kids' playground for a bit. Almost got it done.
And then you puked, and then no, I'm just kidding.
No puking. But I mean, it's kind of weird because at the beginning of the month, September 8th, we had our new bed delivered. Oh, yeah. So we've been sleeping on that.
You've been breaking it in, is what you're saying?
No. It's one of those sleep numbers, and it's been really nice for me. I've been sleeping way better.
That's good.
Kirsten's still trying to figure it out, but like.
You mean she's trying to figure out her number?
You can figure it out.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
You can figure it out, and I think she zeroed it in a bit. But, it tells you how much good sleep you had.
Oh,
You know,
well, yeah, that's kind of
'Cause
what my
it can-
watch does too with the.
yeah, probably along those lines. But it's weird because it's like you got 2.5 hours of good sleep, and I was like, "Fuck, that was rough."
And that's
Um,
that's another reason why we don't want to do shots again tonight, because it's like we
Yeah.
can't do that 2 times in a week. Like we're not
Yeah.
20-year-olds anymore.
Nope.
Like
Nope.
it kills us.
But it's a Sleep Number. If you're, it's good. It is it's an air mattress.
Oh, speaking of our new sponsor, Sleep Number. No, I'm just kidding.
Sleep Number. I wish.
Yeah,
That would have been dope.
Yeah, that's probably a
But
good
it's
one.
all
we
right.
could
I
be.
mean, like sleep is so important, though, right? I've been sleeping on shitty mattresses since essentially whenever Lowery was born, so like 5 years. And it took like
Honest-
4 or 5 days, and my back started acting better again. And
nice.
I still get sore, but it's a lot better than like feeling like nerves are being pinched and shit like that. I'm just sleeping a ton better.
That's
So,
great.
yeah.
J13 Productions. If I have time, I am driving my truck. We're doing a caravan down there. I could definitely swing by, but I don't know what the timing is going to be. I
think he's on the East Coast.
Yeah, I know that's the hard part. That's like 3, 4, or 5 hour drive. Like Florida's fucking huge. So it would all depend on all that stuff. I'd love to, but this might just be all work and no play. And the other thing is we're having to figure out school, like how they get the kids to school. Luckily, our neighbors are pretty sweet. Cindy's going to be dropping them off early in the morning before when she goes to work, and then they'll take them after the bus drops them off. And then my dad and stepmom are talking about that they could come stay if it gets too hard and stuff.
That'd
So
be cool.
yeah. And then Project X is calling us old farts. Yeah, Grandpa Smiths.
Good luck with the work down there, and I hope that it's speedy.
Yeah. Well, the problem. So, like, just a little bit behind the curtain stuff, and I've talked to you about this before. Is I was planning on selling all of them, and we were going to do the cabin stuff. We sold one a month ago, and we had one left, and we got it rented. And I was like, well, I can hold on to it till next spring because we got it rented all the way through. I was like, why not? I have it already guaranteed. Here's money, whatever. Now I'm really kicking myself that I didn't sell it because there's a lot of things that insurance companies are kind of a-holes. So,
what?
Yeah. Well, like my mom's like, they might not cover your fence because it's not attached to your house. They may not cover your pool cage because it's also not attached to your house. And like the only thing that they'll cover is if the house would have blown away. And I'm like, well, fucking A. Like, and then they might not cover the roof because the roof was over 10 years old. Like there's so many things that is just like, you sons of bitches. Like, why do we have insurance? Like, just so if it burns down, like that's the only thing. Like,
this is like the whole argument for healthcare, and it's why do I pay healthcare? Because it's emergency care. It's
Right.
not healthcare. It's
right.
And in Florida, like when we went down there 3 years ago to like the Tampa area, we were talking with people, and we're like, how much is the insurance on these houses, like right on the ocean water and stuff like that? They're like, oh, there isn't any actual insurance companies that cover anybody down here. It's all federally insured. I was like, what do you mean? They're like, not a single like corporate business wants to be here. There's no money in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, you probably shouldn't be building your house in those areas.
Yeah. Well,
now, yours is off the ocean and stuff
right.
like that.
It's 8 miles off the ocean, but yeah, it's, I don't know. Well, and then, actually, it's Jesus. That's J13 Productions. What he is saying is that, and it's true, the homeowner's insurance doesn't have flood insurance in it. You have to ask for that separately, which it's like, what? Gas money and dick pills. You're not seeing it, and it's not popping up because we had the error. But Matt Sampson just tipped us $20. Thank you, Matt, for gas money and dick pills. I don't know what dick pills. What is that supposed to be?
Can you buy that over the counter?
I don't know.
Or is that just like Tic Tacs?
I don't know. Thank you, buddy, so much for that. Well, we'll pay you back with that when we get back and stuff. Maybe when I even get settled down there. Why don't you write it down? I know that's not even like in our range of what we have, but we'll figure out something to say thanks. Okay,
Sampson.
Matt Sampson.
Need to. So he wants us to take dick pills on the cast. Is that what?
Just take it, and then by the time our 2-hour cast is done, we'll just have these massive erections by massive.
We need to call the doctor. Yeah, throbbing erections.
I'm getting lightheaded right now. He said the gas station dick pills. Okay. I don't.
Gas station dick pills. I don't know what that
Well,
means.
no, that's
either.
Renshai that's really clarifying what that is. Definitely gas station style. No repayment required.
Why does
Yeah.
he know what they are?
I don't know. Okay.
I know exactly why he knows.
Yeah. So we're gonna get to the cast kind of quick here, just because we don't want it to be 2 hours
Kinda
long,
quick.
and it's in
We're 5 minutes early. It's
Yeah.
everybody's been
Well,
wishing
let's
and hoping.
let's
for
do
this.
one of our beans, because we have 5 of them to do here. 5 total.
4.
4, 3 and 1.
This one we can get rid of hockeys for the.
Okay.
All right. This was $1 donation from Mr. Hockey last
I got lucky. I'm on the
Monday.
I'm on
I
the.
don't know what it is.
Mine's
It's
gonna be toothpaste or blueberry, so I'm fine here.
Mine's like a pink speckled. Or for peach. Ah.
And actually, I should just do this really,
Wiener,
and then we'll pop back. That's.
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to pop it there. All right, ready?
All right, Mr. Hockey. Thank you very much. Kindly. Thank you kindly. Very much kindly. Yeah. All right.
Blueberry. All right. So now, who do we have left for all this? That's pretty good. Blueberry's really good.
This is barf. If that's what it is, it's not awful. This might be old bandage.
I'm kind of disappointed that the
That's
chat
red,
stuff,
though.
people aren't going to be able to see that in our live chat thing. It happens so quick. It's like everything that can go wrong today is going wrong. Like, it's just.
I mean, I don't like this. It's just I'm not listening to what you're saying.
I'm disappointed
when
that
you,
we're not.
when you
seeing
get a
the
bad
chat.
one, you just kind of focus. You're like, what is this in my mouth?
Does that happen quite a bit?
No.
All right. I'm going to get to our tags quick here. All right. So you guys can support the show by becoming a patron. $1 or more gets you into the Discord, get you playing games, Discord games, like we've been doing. Might take a little bit of a break. We had some really sweet plans coming up, but we'll see when I get back with stuff. We still might have that. That's in store, but that's all for Discord people. $5 gets you proxies each month. You can pick from any of the 200, 300 and so proxies we have. Actually, let me just show you one thing really quick that we'll be posting pretty soon.
Hey.
Check. Oh, good. The chat came back by me switching the things. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I always know what's in my mouth.
Look at these sexy dual lands I did here. Can you see that? Tundra.
Oh, no, everything froze on me. It's all frozen now.
Oh, what the hell? It's not frozen over here. Okay. Well, so I did here's Badlands. Looks really sweet. You can't see it, but the chat can. Yeah, there you go, Lowery. But I did the Unfinity basic lands, and I did the similar thing that we did with Unstable, where I flipped them one upside down and the other. But the cool thing with the Unfinity lands basics is they have like the little symbol and then like the mono symbol for each color. And so I kind of, when your video is, you'll see it tomorrow. I'll be posting those. So you're still frozen. Am I still frozen for you?
So good.
Am I still frozen?
No.
Oh, I'm not. So you can see me now. You can see this.
Yeah, you're waving like an atom.
Look at that.
Oh, that looks pretty good. I like that.
Yeah. So like the red symbols down below on where the swamp is, and then
it definitely looks like a 5-year-old on crack did that though. I'm supposed to write that down. I would just say build a better deck.
Card. Proxy. Sorry.
I can't. No, everything you do is
all right.
fantastic.
So but speaking of that, the higher you move in the tiers, you can get foil ones like these guys. This is a foil one right here. This is a foil Badlands. And I have some plans. The next ones, I'll have a lot of time to be working on stuff, hopefully, when I'm down there. Will be the Battle Bond lands. So I'm going to be doing those I have some ideas of what I'm going to use with those. So those will be coming out next. So that's supporting the show. So not only supporting the show, you also get some bonuses each month with that the longer you support. And once you reach the $100 or more, you reach Garuk Dong level. You get a shout out at the beginning of the cast and the playmats. I am a little bit behind. I'm going to try to get the ones that I have left. I have a big bunch of you guys that need the play mats. I'm going to try to send them out before I leave because I don't know how long I'm going to be gone. But once you get the Grook Dong level, you get our sweet play mats that you've seen all over the place, especially in the game stuff. Another way to support the show is by donating on the live stuff. So right here, as we were talking, people donating, making us take beans, making us drink shots, or just donating. That is the other way you can financially support the show, and by joining us live, because that's a lot. It's a lot of fun when you guys are on there. It makes it, and then you get to see Lowery's miming of stuff. It's pretty sweet when you see Lowery is pretty good at working with all that. Let's see if that was it for there. So financially, okay. You can also support us. The free way to support is to check us out on YouTube. Subscribe there. That is the easiest thing you can do. Just subscribe. If you want to do more, maybe start watching the videos, liking the videos. We have a ton of videos.
Step it up. Y'all need to start watching more.
Actually, we're about to surpass that. We need more subs. We need you guys to sub. So if you guys are listening right now and you have not subscribed, just jump on YouTube and subscribe there. And then you'll actually get notifications for all the videos that we do, including the podcast, including Curated MTG, which is still the same curated as it was Monday. But no, wait. Or do you have one for tomorrow? Do you have one picked out that you're going to be doing tomorrow?
Yes, I do. I do.
What is it?
It's a card I've never used. Give me.
Show us on the camera.
Yeah. All right. It's going to be Lackalith Rig.
What is that one?
Is it going to focus?
No, I'm going to lean in like old guy and try to see if we can see it. All right. Yeah. What is it? It's red. I like red.
I've heard. All right. So it's a 1 red aura. Whenever enchanted creature becomes blocked, you may have it deal damage equal to its power to target creature. If you do, enchanted creature deals no combat damage this turn.
So that's an aura, not an enchantment?
Correct. And so I used Kaima as an example for this one. Because what you can do is it goads their creature, right?
Right, yeah.
And then if it's blocked and it's chump blocked or whatever, you can have that creature deal damage to a different creature.
Because you control the aura, so you get to decide where it goes because it's not the creature.
Right?
I might have to... Too bad my Kaima deck sucks ass and
doesn't suck ass.
It's just not. It's not a winning deck, is what it is. It's a fun deck to play, but it's
one that gets everybody going.
It does. It gets people get mad. They're like, "Fuck, I don't want to attack, and so I'm going to kill the Kaima player." Yeah. So okay. Yep. So that is Curated MTG. Any other shorts that come out, just give them a watch. Give them a like. That's how you guys can make them go Commander UnSmiths viral. We also do those on TikTok as well. A lot of those curated. Anything that we do for videos that are 10 minutes and under, now they're allowed on TikTok. So you can check us out on TikTok as well. Let's see what else we have. We have battle boxes. We have Spotlight was supposed to be tonight. I was supposed to be doing braids. I'm hopefully going to be able to do braids when I'm down in Florida. That's why I'm bringing the whole stuff with me, and we'll see how the nights are and if I have electricity and all that stuff. So it's all playing by ear. So eventually I'll be doing braids. But we do spotlight decks, we do switcheroos, we do what else? Box openings. Oh, you know what I didn't mention last week?
I plan on doing. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I didn't mention that you guys should check out the video of the secret layer of the Beetle and Grim one, where it shows you why you should open every secret layer that you get, because this is the 3rd secret layer where I have missing cards in it, and it was spoiler alert. It was Tiamat that was not there. And actually, I was just opening the box with my son because I know he likes opening stuff. And we're opening. I'm like, there's supposed to be a card here because I had already opened one before. And yeah, so that's why you should always open your secret layers.
You should always watch the Commander UnSmiths.
Right.
And because we have fairly poor luck, like everybody is impressed with oh, they got this awesome card that they pulled, and ours are missing or shitty pulls, and so that is also just as impressive in my opinion.
Secret layer stuff is if you open it right away, they will replace it. The problem is, this is my little just the tips thing. If you're one of those people that hold on to it, it does make you want to sell it as a set. If you send it out and then there's missing something, they can give you negative feedback or whatever. But if you're the other way around and you're the person ordering a secret layer that's already a year old and then you open it's missing something, they won't replace it because they don't have anything. So they won't give you any card for it. They only can give you up until how much stock they have of it. And that's the thing about Secret Layers. They only make a finite amount of them. And so when they're out, they make extra and they give out for this case. But when they're out, they're not sending you anything. So that's why I highly suggest you open those and just sell them as singles. Or you can repackage them and sell them as a group and just say you opened them up. Here's what you got. Hard part is I know there's a lot of people that are like, they're doing the numbered cards, the left-handed ones that were the one that sacrifices to scry one. What is it? Why am I blanking on her name?
Viscera Seer.
Yeah, the Viscera Seer ones. And so those staying sealed gives you a chance that those could potentially be in there, but to be honest with you, unless there's that little giveaway, I would open all your Secret Layer stuff. So anyways, tangent, let's get back on track.
I plan on doing Varric Spotlight sometime this week.
Okay.
Because the podcast wise,
it's going to be coming out. Yeah, the audio
coming out whenever.
Well, and if you're watching on YouTube, that means as of October, the first week in October is what you're saying. Yep. So just keep an eye out
I'll
for that.
probably do a switcheroo as well somewhere in there.
Yeah. So everything's going to be kind of up in the air of timing and all that. So that's why you guys should be following us on subscribing on YouTube and probably following us on Twitter, because then you'll get notifications there as well. So
I've noticed that when I post things to Twitter, it fucks up. And so I've stopped posting to Twitter as I go live. That's
keep blaming on Twitter. Everything's wrong.
It's totally Twitter's fault. Totally Twitter's fault.
It's not even related at all. Like
I've
to what
just
you're
noticed
doing.
It's
just
called
the good luck thing.
Patterns.
Right.
I've noticed patterns.
All right. So the other way you guys can check us out is check out Twitter, which is also AKA Discord Ultralight. That's where we post everything like I was just mentioning. And then we do the Twitter polls and like the Stump the Smith Savant stuff, not Stump the Smith, Staple Versus stuff where you can vote there. And then you can also direct messages there, or you can direct message us at gmail.com, which is commandersmiths@gmail.com. And that is where you can send the suggestions for this. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant. I know what the card is, I just don't know the name.
So I got it last week.
Yeah, you did. All right, I'm getting everything set up here. If you guys don't know how this game works, I am going to read the flavor text of a card, and Lowery is going to try to guess the card by asking yes or no questions. Every yes, he'll hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no, he'll hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
He will get up to 5 wrong guesses before he is considered stumped. The card has to be in at least 5,000 EDH rec decks or more. There's some things going to, so Scribe. What is that donation? No.
What?
Way. What?
Who
are you
did that?
doing? That was Josh D.
Shush.
While you're in Florida, use it to help anyone that needs it. All right, well, thank you so much, dude.
Cool.
That's very much appreciated. Like you guys,
I'll still write it down.
That's
I'm
kinda
going to hold you
crazy.
accountable.
That's awesome. Oh man, that's crazy. Okay, now you really threw me off. I'm like, what am I doing here? Okay, so the other thing was Scryfall was down, so now I'm having to go find this card somewhere else because why not have everything just not work right now? But thank you so much, Josh D. That's really greatly appreciated. What I'll probably do is I'm going to load up the truck. I was already planning on getting a bunch of supplies, tarps, water, all that stuff, because that's the thing. They can't use water down there right now. We have to boil it because everything's just flooded, and so it's either boiling water or bottled stuff. So I'll probably get a bunch of that stuff. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you. Okay. What else was I at? Okay, so then right now we do have, if Lowery is stumped, we have Joda in foil that you can win. And like I said before, Andy S is our stumper for this week. I think that is it. So let me make sure I got everything in the right spot. Okay, I think here we go. This is a short one, buddy. You hit like a kobold. That's it. That's all. You hit like a kobold.
Okay. All right.
and get
That's
scruffled.
somebody talking smack.
Still not working. All right.
That. So kobolds are red.
And by the way, the chat on YouTube has been eliminated so that Lowery can't use that, but chat can guess along with Lowery there.
You hit like a kobold. So kobolds are located in
Ranshai
Dominaria.
got it already.
Jesus. That's a man's man right there. Hit like a kobold. That's somebody talking shit. It's okay. So if I said this, just to make sure that if I said this was somewhere on Dominaria, would you know? Yeah. Okay. That doesn't.
No.
You would not know.
No, I mean, if you're talking about sets, I would know.
Yeah, but I don't like most. A majority of sets are set in Dominaria.
I mean, I would say, well, is that what you want me to? I don't think I would know necessarily. I'm not going to give you that.
You just say no if you don't know. That's all I'm saying. If you don't know, then
I don't know.
Then you don't know.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I'm pretty sure
So
it's a
this could
no,
be-
but
It may or may not be, but I'm pretty sure kobolds are only on Dominaria. Let's see here, because that's from Legends. Legends, classic. That's a good question. Is this a permanent type spell?
Hello, boobies.
Okay, so it's likely a creature saying this, because at that point we're talking creatures, enchantments, artifacts. I'll take a first clue, please.
so this is a different clue because in a different order, because if I do the other one, I think it gives it away. So I'm going to do the text features Indestruction, fights, and a thorns. I don't know if you know what thorns is in video games and stuff, but a thorns type ability towards an opponent.
Nope.
A thorns ability is like what?
What game would thorns be? Is that in multiple?
Diablo's in that. It's think of it like if you got hit, it would deflect it back or reflect it back at the person or thing hitting you. So
Yeah,
thorns is like thinking like you're grabbing it and it hurts you as well. Like you're trying to, I'm hitting it, but it also hurts me. So as much as I'm hurting you, it's also hurting me. So the text features Indestruction, fights, and thorns towards an opponent.
Indestruction? That's the word you're using?
I know. I'm trying. Well, because I know. I could have just said it, but whatever. This one I feel like it's a hard. This one was a hard one to try to make vague. That's why I went with this as clue number 1 instead of it normally as clue number 2.
Oh.
You about to cheat and look at your cards? Is that what you're about to
No.
do?
I was itching my nose right
And
here,
turning?
but trying to turn it. Yeah. Right. Trying to hide the finger up the nose type thing. Okay. I think I know what this is. Is it Hans Eriksson?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Shit. Is it a creature?
Hello, boobies.
Is it red and or green?
Hello, boobies.
Might have gotten the last name wrong. I think it might still be Hans because he talks shit. Oh, but his flavor text I think might be something different. It might be something like, "Hey, come over here," right before Lord Wife comes in.
Hey,
Okay.
get over here. It's like a really soft scorpion from Mortal
It's
Kombat.
super nice.
Hey,
yeah.
you, come here.
Yeah, well,
Can you please get over here?
Definitely like Norwegian Swedish descent. So
Mortal Kombat.
hey,
Finish him. Hey, can you please just make your way over here while I throw my spear at you?
yeah. Okay, so this allows this potentially could be like a Commander Legends set. This could be a Modern Horizons potentially, but it feels like it's maybe one of those. I'll hear a second clue, please.
This card is in 30,000 EDH rec decks, most seen in Naeth, and first printed in Core Set 2021. This is only clue 2. When I get back to clue 1, it kind of gives away a lot. So that's why I don't want to tell you the picture until the last clue.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I built Nath.
You did.
I did.
Mm-hmm. And it's most seen in that deck.
No.
And 30,000 more decks. And it was only in 2021. Core Set 2021. So really it came out in 2020. 2020. It was like I was going to say another number. It didn't.
2020.
2020.
Okay, so you hit like a kobold. It's green and or red. It is a creature. It has indestructible. It fights.
Renshai
And
Lowery does too,
it-
by the way. This is one of, yep.
And
Not-
it has a thorn ability, which is when you hit it, it hits you. Which is kind of like fighting anyway. Red and or green. What? Blanca. No, just kidding.
There's too much text on that to even have flavor. It probably does have flavor text, actually, now that I think about it.
It's that was
Mhm.
electrocution.
That was a
Yeah.
pretty good impression there. I gotcha.
Was it? I don't think you got it right away.
No, I know
Like,
what
that
you're
was-
doing.
That was stupid.
I didn't think there was a B in there. Gibbs, gibbs, gibbs.
It was a bee getting electrocuted.
Gibbs, 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 gibbs. I'm gonna have to make another drink here. You're taking so
yeah.
long. I'm gonna
Nope,
have to.
Yeah, no, it's I'll ask for my third clue, and then you can go get yourself a drink.
Oh, I'm not having to go anywhere. I brought it all right here
Okay.
with me, so I can do this.
All right.
The art features goblins with heavy armor. How is that not giving it away?
Brash Taunter.
There
we
you
go.
go. That's why I did not have that one as the first clue, because you would have got it immediately if I
Right.
did that.
Right.
Yeah, freaking Renshai got it immediately, like so
Yeah.
fast that there's no way that he Googled it, even though I know he's Googling this stuff. I'm just
No,
kidding.
no,
I'm
no.
kidding.
This is. I should have known that.
I
right
know,
off the
that's
bat.
what
That's
Renshai
why I was
says.
like,
He said CCO loves this card, and I was like, Lowery loves this card. I didn't want
Yeah,
to say
I
Lowery
love
loves
this
this card. I was like, Lowery too. I was trying to make it coded, because if I said Lowery loves this card, then you're immediately like, what do I love? What do I love?
oh, what do I love?
Yeah. Brash
love
Taunter is
things.
one of your favorite cards. You play with this one a lot. It's been in a lot of your decks. And you've
Right
talked
now it's
about
in
it.
Savant. Yeah.
Was it in your Naeth deck? It better be.
Oh yeah, yeah. It absolutely was in Naeth.
I thought that. So here's my double shot for my.
Ah, sorry, Andy. Good shot though. It's
Yeah. But yeah, if I would have done it the other way around and gave you the art first, you probably would have got it without any other clues. Okay, so
Maybe.
you get the Thorns ability. Like I was trying. That's why I said
yeah, I
Indestruction.
I wouldn't.
Because I was in the mindset of everything vague, because I said the text features Indestruction, fights, not fighting, just fights, and Thorns ability. But I was almost not going to explain what Thorns was, but by that point I was like, well,
Jesus.
you have no idea what Thorns is, so I'll give it to you. So Andy, if you want, you can send us a signed Brash Taunter, and we will put it up on the wall like this over here, and Lowery's eventual wall that he will make right next to those boobies and that dragon. Hello, boobies.
Hello, boobies.
And then anybody else, if you guys want to send in your suggestions, just make sure you send it to our Gmail account, and I'll get you entered. And every time, or right before we're about to do our podcast, normally the night before, I will draw a name or pick from the oldest that was on the list. And that's what happened this week because surprise podcast out of nowhere. Okay, so what are we doing? I wonder if Scryfall's back up here. Let me see. Oh, I don't need Scryfall. We'll stick with actually Card Kingdom. That's actually a good one because we can kind of see prices. All right, Lowery, hit a button because we don't have a name for. I don't have a Fave 5 number or button or anything.
Here you go, AJ.
I don't want relationship. I just want bang, bang, bang. I don't want to know your name. I just want bang, bang, bang.
There we go. Okay,
right.
so we're talking Infinity. Are we doing any beans? We have 3 beans to do. How many beans do we have left?
Yeah. Let's do a bean.
Okay.
We know.
I'll hit it really quick. A Smith.
Always pays his debts.
Wiener.
This just looks gross, and it doesn't look like it's supposed to be in here.
I have like a weird, if you can see that there.
Like brown.
That's what I have too. That's the exact, how are we getting the same ones? So I think this one is the stink bug or toasted marshmallow, I believe.
No, I don't think so. I had that one already.
Well, let's taste it. And
I want to say
out.
this dead fish or strawberry banana.
That looks orangish. Well, maybe it's the lighting. It's the
Yeah.
lighting. All right, here we go. Boop.
Yeah,
Cheers.
yeah. You have speckles though. I don't. All right.
Yeah,
cheers.
yours is a little different than mine. Mine might be.
This one is going to be from
Fuck, I can taste it. This is
Black
stink.
Horizon.
This is stink bug.
Oh, good for you.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
that's gross.
oh,
This isn't stink bug though. We had different ones.
what the hell? That's not good.
This might have been a barf one. I don't know what the fuck the last one was. It's like spicy. What the fuck is spicy here?
It's like every bean to you. This one's barf. Nope, this one's definitely barf.
I don't know what these are. It's so weird.
Do you have taste buds? All right.
I don't like this at all.
Okay, so we're gonna do a quick Fave 5, and then we're gonna kind of get into.
This one might have been puke. That could be puke.
It's not barf, it's puke. We're gonna do a Fave 5 quick, and then we're gonna jump into our a discussion on Unfinity and Unsets in general. Basically, I don't know how we fix them. How do you make them good? Are they good? Like, are they worth the buy? What do we do here? And we have probably some similar opinions and then some differing opinions on stuff. So we're just gonna do a little discussion. We're not going to go 45 minutes. We can't go that long because then we're going to get to 2 hours again. So let's try to keep this wrapped in here in a nice, tight.
I think we're good.
Bowl. All right.
I think we're good.
Lowery, do you want to start us off with your
Nah, you can.
Okay. So, well, you can see off the top of my list. I'm going to do Saw in Half as one of my Fave 5s. I'm not having this in order at all, but
Yeah, totally.
Saw in Half, it seems like it's probably the most popular card in this because it seems like the most usable card because you can, what it is, it's 2 colors. It's a black instant, destroy target creature. If that creature dies this way, its controller creates 2 tokens that are copies of that creature, except their base power is halved and their toughness is halved. Everything's halved, rounded up each time.
Yeah.
Why is this card good? You don't really destroy their creature. Well, it's because you play it on your creature and you make 2 of them. So think of Dockside is a very good example. Getting 2 Docksides. You play your Dockside, you get all your treasures, then you go, I destroy it, and it turns into 2 more. And now Dockside, you have 3 triggers.
Crater Hoof Behemoth.
Yeah. Great. Oh, that's a good point too. Crater Hoof. Freaking crazy.
You put this in a Yarok deck and it's nuts. It's any,
That's
pick your
good.
choice.
Yeah. So this is just going to be used a shit ton. That's why I made a proxy of this one when this got spoiled when it was supposed to come out in the spring. So it's been like 7 months, 6
It's
months.
been a while. I don't even remember you doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's Happy Fun House, whatever proxy. I'll see if I can find
Like
it.
from SNL.
No, it's like a cartoon thing. I have it somewhere. But anyway, so there it is. This guy right there. So I had a Saw in Half. He's split. It's a
All right.
moose that splits its
Yeah.
body and all that fun
I
stuff.
don't get it.
I don't get it. It's from the short bit cartoon that's only like a minute long or whatever. It's the internet thing. The
Okay.
interwebs.
Never
Okay.
been on it.
So yeah, this card seems pretty sweet. I don't think you'll ever destroy somebody else's, but I guess you could if they were attacking. You're like, well, the emergency, destroy your creature, but most of the time you're going to be using it for yourself. So, oh yeah, Renshai mentioned Gray Merchant. Yeah, so this one's pretty sweet. So
Yeah.
all right,
I
Lowery,
agree.
what do you have for
You know
your
what?
first one?
You took mine. You want to go? You can choose the next one. You can do your next one if you want.
I know what you're doing. Yeah, I know what you're doing. All right. My next one. You're setting up the bit. I see it. All right. The next one would be Comet Stellar Pup. This is a two color.
I refuse to say I like this one.
This is 2 colors, a red and a white, and it has 5 loyalty, and it's rolling dice. So Lowery, you're gonna have to pick something after this.
Yeah, no, I absolutely will.
It 0 loyalty, roll a 6-sided die, and if you hit a 1 or a 2, you create 2 1/1 green squirrel tokens. They gain haste. If you hit a 3, it gets a -1. Oh, by the way, 1 or 2 gives you a +2 to its loyalty. If you hit a 3, it's a -1. Return a card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. So that would include, wouldn't that include land with that? Mana value.
Sorry, not paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah, it would.
There's so many goddamn words on this.
Return.
I have no interest. This is such a stupid
Then return a
fucking
card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. Hey, recursion. If you hit a 4 or 5, it deals damage equal to the number of loyalty counters on him to a creature or player, and that's a -2. And then you -2 it. And then if you had a 6, it's a +1, and you may activate Comet Stellar Pup's loyalty abilities 2 more times. Let's keep it going. So if you have like Karark's Other Thumb, where you're able to roll more dice, you could fucking keep going with this. It could be just, you could win the game just off of him. Don't you love it?
No, well, number 1, that card's not legal. Number 2, I agree with Josh. I drink too much to play this card. No.
You just said it that makes his brain hurt. It's all right. Okay, so what is your number 4? Your next selection, I should say.
I'm just gonna say that I agree with yours. You can choose the next.
Oh, you're not going with the bit. I don't know if I really wanted to say the other ones. There's some other cool ones. Starlights.
Okay, I'll go with the ones that this card is stupid. Yes, I agree. All right. I was gonna see how long we would go. I liked 4 cards. I could not get to 5. I liked let's see here. Starlight Spectacular, but then I decided I wouldn't play this. That's
You wouldn't play this in a token deck though if you're going Meat Force?
Right. Because it's fairly similar to Cathar's Crusade.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna have to like fucking okay,
this one gets 0 +
0. This one gets +1, +2, +3,
+4,
+4, +5. And if you go Meat Force on this, I'm gonna be fucking. You attack, and they're like, okay, which one was this one again? Which one is this one again? It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. But okay, Starlight Spectacular 2 and a white enchantment.
Side note, really quick.
Huh.
Matt Sampson was. You said that one's not legal. What you were talking about, you were referring to Karark's Other Thumb on the last card.
Yes. Yep.
That one is not legal, which now it would be. Like this is going to be one of my discussion topics on this whole thing. But that's what Lowery was talking about. He wasn't talking about that. That planes.
The other thing we should say is we are picking legal cards because there's only like 10 of them.
There's more than that. There's a lot more.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is. All the uncommons and commons, they have to have the acorns. That's what I didn't realize it either. And then I put it on Discord and actually was like, Ted was the one that brought it. Was like, no, they have acorns on the commons and uncommons too. They just aren't holograms. They're just imprinted with an acorn in the same spot that the hologram would be. So there's a lot. There's more than half the set is legal.
Oh,
so, yeah.
where they'd have a circle there instead of, because if there's an acorn, that's not legal.
Yep. So when you get into the commons and uncommons, I'm going to scroll here just so we can find some. Now we're all. So see,
I'm still not interested.
So we'll look at Urza's Fun. Oh, that's a rare. Shit, yeah, that doesn't help. But okay, so here, Pair O Dice Lost. It doesn't have anything right here. this one is legal. So roll 2 6-sided dice, return any number of cards with total amount of value X or less from your graveyard to your hand, where X is the total of those dice, exile a pair of dice. That one is legal. And then I'll show you an uncommon or common,
All right.
but keep going with what you were saying there. So, big top. See this little guy right here? Let me zoom in. See how it has an acorn? This is an uncommon with an acorn.
So that doesn't count.
So this one doesn't count. So there's a lot.
Okay.
All right, back to what card actually matters.
All right. So what the card does, at the beginning of combat on your turn, choose creatures you control one at a time until each creature you control has been chosen. Each of those creatures gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each creature chosen before it. So you choose one and it gets +1 or +0/+0. And then you choose the next one, +1/+1. Then the next one, +2/+2. Then the next one, +3/+3. It's gonna be frustrating. I don't like it.
It's so much fun that you're choosing
It's
it
probably
as one of
good.
your cards.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun. I don't like it.
Okay. Well, my next one is a card that I think is actually kind of playable. Magar of Magic Strings, Magar, whatever. 1 black, red, a legendary creature. It's a Minotaur performer. He is a 3/3. You can tap a colorless, a black, and a red. Note the name of target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard and put it on the battlefield face down. It is a 3/3 creature and has, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may create a copy of the card noted, and you may cast it without playing its mana cost. If this card would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere else. So basically allowing you like almost like a free flashback of your instants and sorceries out of your graveyard if your creature hits. So
Potentially multiple times.
yeah. So it seems fun because it seems like, well, not seems like it is. You don't have to tap it, so you could do multiple instants and sorceries.
Yeah.
It's odd. It's black and red. You know, this seems like something that a blue and red deck might have, but
But
hey,
it's a Minotaur, so that works in my mind.
right. But I mean, the
So
instant
I like
stuff-
it. I like this card.
Yeah, it should be fun. Okay, what's your next card that you would like to?
You just chose one of mine. You can choose the next one if you want.
I did do exchange of words.
Did you?
Yes.
Fucking Jesus.
Why? That's pretty sweet. It's 2 blue and a colorless.
It's not.
Yeah, it is. When it enters the battlefield, choose 2 target creatures. For as long as exchange of words remains on the battlefield, exchange the text boxes of those creatures. So you have something that is nothing, and you exchange it with Brash Taunter. I get all the abilities of Brash Taunter, and you have the abilities of my creature that doesn't do anything, or maybe taps for a mana. That seems pretty fun. Seems interesting, right? No? All right. Fine. Bastard. That's all I have on my list because the rest I was going to say basic lands are probably my number one gets in this, and shocks. Well, shocks and basic lands are what I'm really going for in this. Those were going to be, we were going to make that a whole bit, and then Lowery did his other bit. So then I kept going with it to see if we would keep running with it. Did you have anything else on your list?
I do have
there,
one
Lowery?
more that I find kind of interesting. Clown Car.
Yeah, that seems pretty funny. Yeah.
So it's X mana. It is a vehicle 1/1, and then when it ETBs, roll X 6-sided
What?
dice.
You're going to roll that many dice, Lowery? Wait.
I mean, it's all
Remember
at
our
once.
short?
This ain't fucking. You got to treat it like Yahtzee.
Well,
Just
how many
go.
6-sided dice do you have on you? Like if you tap 10, do you have 10 6-sided dice? Oh, wait. Get it.
I got this as a birthday present from our cousin Mark because he's a nice person.
He didn't give me a birthday present. I even went to his birthday.
Because he knew future wise I would not like them. And so when it ETBs for you roll X amount of 6-sided dice. For each odd result, create a 1/1 white clown robot artifact creature token. For each even result, put a 1/1 counter on Clown Car and its crew too. So other than the goofy name and art, it's kind of a cool card.
All right. Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Let's get into the set. Like unsets normally are, they're confusing. It takes a little bit of figuring out and reading and going through stuff. The difference with this unset is half, if not more, of this set is legal. So the whole mechanic of going to attractions is, let me explain what attractions are. Attractions is a completely separate thing from your deck. In Commander format, in formats like Commander or constructed formats, you need to have at least 10 of them. And you cannot have duplicates. So it kind of does the Commander rules where you can't have the same card. Let's pull. Well, Tunnel of Love is a very long read to it. Let's get in. I don't want to read a lot. There's a lot of these that have a lot of reading. So
Kid can't even read.
Thank you. Let's just do. This still has a lot of reading. I wanted one that there's a couple that say like
they all just
scry
kind
one.
of do a lot of bullshit. It's like a bunch of separate dungeons.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Here's one that I hate too. Concession stand. There is no casting cost. They are artifacts, so they can be destroyed. And on the side here, you see there are numbers that are highlighted. Every single one of them will have a 6 highlighted, and every single one of them won't have a 1 highlighted. And so at the beginning of your, well, not upkeep, it's after your upkeep, after your draw, like sagas, you roll a 6-sided die if an attraction is out. Whatever number that hits, whatever attractions you have out, if you, like, if, for example, here, if you hit roll a 4, you would visit that attraction. So in this case, concession stand, visiting it creates a food token. Now, if you have multiples that hit, like if you roll a 6 and you hit like all of your attractions that are out, you get to do every single one of those attractions. They don't go away after you use them, after you visit the attraction. And so I think that's an interesting add to the game, being that these are legal. Most of the attractions are legal. There are some that aren't, but a lot of them are legal. So I think it's a nice little added bonus, but it's different. It's not something.
What are we doing here? Are we just talking about mechanics? Or are we talking about how to make this better, worse, or like, are we complaining or saying like this is what we like?
We're just doing it all around. Like I actually, what I was saying with the attractions is, I kind of dig these. Like I like this ability. It's kind of like the dungeons in my mind with this, except you're using a 10 stack instead of 3 to 4 dungeons. You know, we have the 3 from the original Dungeons and Dragons, and then we added the Undercity, which was better than the 3 that they gave us the first time. I think this is very similar to that, and I like that. Okay. Now, the other thing they added was stickers. That I didn't like as much. Like that seems a little more hold on. Let's go back to the attractions. Like, do you feel like there needs to be like an attraction? It doesn't have to be a deck. Does it have to be kind of like a mutate deck where there's mostly stuff that builds on top of each other to like make this work? There's enough good attractions out there. No. The difference is can you just play one attraction card and have it be fine in a deck, or does it have to be all like a bunch of attractions to make the things work? You need a minimum of 10 in your deck, or no, not separate, like the artifacts that you're pulling in, cards in your deck. Right. I see what you're saying. Yep. Like when you're building your deck, you could be like, oh, that's a cool attraction card, I'm just going to throw it in. Or is it like, I need so that all of this actually works, I need to have, when you're having like an artifact themed deck. Well, here's an example. There is, I'm not going to go search for, well, kind of looking, I think it's on the second page, but there's a green sorcery that's, it's a mono ramp. It goes and searches for a basic and puts it onto play tapped. And you flip the top attraction. Like you get to add an attraction to it. It's kind of, so I guess how I would use it, and that's why I was giving that example, is like the dungeons. My Duke deck, it's doing a myriad, so I'm getting triggers from them hitting, but being able to, the nice thing about the dungeons is you keep moving on your upkeep when you get the Undercity. This, you still have to roll a dice and hit that number for that thing to trigger. But most of them aren't like really bad. Like, I mean, Haunted House, what is it? Return target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of next end step.
But I mean, like, is it worth it? Again, like, is it worth it to put like one Monarch card in your deck? Yeah, there ain't no problem there. Is it fine to put one dungeon or initiative card in your deck? Yeah, it's fine. The cards kind of like create their own. What does this do to have like one or two attraction type cards in your deck? Is it even worth pulling 10 attractions to have on the sideboard of your deck to like randomly flip them? Is that even worth it?
Well, what do you
in
mean
the
by
deck building construction part? Like,
I mean, if it's something, I don't know, if it's something that your deck is already doing, I'll be honest with you, like building braids, I'm very tempted to play this card, Lifetime Pass Holder. It's 1 black, and when it enters the battlefield tapped. When it dies, open an attraction. And then whenever you roll a 6, you bring it back from the graveyard to the battlefield. So
okay,
I'm getting, because braids, this is going to be one of my sack outlets. And then I'm going to flip an attraction. In the beginning of, upkeep, I'm going to get to roll to see if I hit it. Yeah, it's only 1. I think that's the part that's a little hard. It's like, how often, let's just use Tunnel of Love, because Josh really loved this one, he said. Tunnel of Love is choose an opponent. They choose a creature they control. Then you choose a creature you control. You may exile those creatures. If you do, return them to the battlefield under owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. Otherwise, chosen creatures fight each other, so you can have them fight. But you have to roll a 3 or a 6. So you're at, what is that, 25% chance that you're going to hit this? Is that, do I have that at 2? No, you're at 33% chance that you're going to hit this. So 1 out of every 3 turns, you're going to actually roll that. Is that worth doing? I don't know. If I'm just doing the 1 card, just having 10 of these, and I'm not
randomly getting them.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to put bad ones in there, but how many
choices are there?
There's a lot of these. There's a lot of these.
Clearly, I didn't read through a lot of these. I'm kind of hating because I just
hate.
Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, we can move on.
The stickers.
Let's bash on stickers.
I'm not a fan of the sticker stuff.
That probably shouldn't be legal.
Yeah, because like people said, you could just use paper, but it just seems. It seems really fucking complicated, because it's like you can, let me get to a sticker. Where is a fucking sticker? Oh no, there's a sticker page. So basically a card will give you stickers, and then there are sticker cards that, same thing. You start with 10 of them, and then, let me just pull it up. What do we got? We got Unfinity. You go ahead and talk. Unfinity.
Okay. Here. I'm gonna do a problem thing with. I get the place of the unsets. Like, they're not terribly problematic for me, especially when there wasn't legal cards in there, except for the basic lands or whatever. Like, that made a ton of sense to me. It's just like, it's a place to experiment. It's a place to try weird, wonky things, have cool art, different names. Like, that all is cool and fun. And then you put these stickers in there. I mean, technically I don't care, but you make them legal. And this was definitely the place where you could test it out and not have it, if there's enough people that are like, this is fucking stupid, then you're like, okay, no, we're not going to try this somewhere else. But when you just make it straight up legal, and that was probably the problem with making cards in here legal, is you're going to go, okay, are we going to make this legal or not? Are we? Okay, let's try and make this actually work. Because before, there were things that were, it's like ideas that they have that aren't polished. And that's fine. But again, that's fine.
What they've said is that unsets it is a test realm. And as you can see, you move back to Unsanctioned was dealing with rolling dice. Like that was its whole bit. And
Uh-huh.
what did we get?
Yep.
What did we get a year later? Dungeons and
Right.
Dragons. And what did we get again? Dungeons and Dragons. It's all rolling dice. Now everything that's in Unsanctioned could be playable. Like
Right.
that's the thing. So what they're trying to do, I get what you're saying, but I think what they're trying to do is that even you move back to Unstable had the melding cards, which is almost kind of like a mutate in a way.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
what they're trying to do is like, well, now we don't want to go back and do like, we're going to unban this, unban that, unban this, unban that.
I don't think they have to unban anything. They can just put the cards in there with like more magic related art or whatever they need to.
That's what I think that they're trying to do here is go, I think that these can be legal and we're going to just start off with them being legal, you know? And if people have a big problem with them, they don't play with them, you know, because they're fucking weird. But a year from now, from the last 2 unsets, the stuff they've had in them have become legal. Like they
Right. But think about this. They're not polished. So like the idea of melding or whatever wasn't exactly what they wanted,
Right.
but they saw that people enjoyed it. So they're like, okay, let's go from there. And that's great. And I think that's what they should have done with stickers. That's probably, they could do something else that wasn't called attractions, very similar to what they're doing. Right. But incorporate it maybe within something else, which they didn't have to, or they don't have to. You know, attractions seem like they can be fine.
Yeah.
Like there isn't anything problematic there. But the stickers seem
I'm not a fan of them. So the stickers again,
like like they seem weird when it comes to like card consistency.
Let's
you have to have them.
Chat what it is. It's the same idea. You get 10 sticker cards, all different ones, and then you shuffle them up. And the difference here is, unlike visiting an attraction, you have a deck of them, and you can have minimum 10 and maximum of whatever. You just can't have duplicates.
Okay.
These, you have a minimum of 10, and then you draw 3 before the game starts, and those are your stickers. Like that's all you have.
Okay.
So it's out of those, that's what you can use. And then you go down to like what the stickers do. Let me get down to the big list. So like what this one sticker has Eldrazi, Guacamole, and Tightrope. You can pay 2 to give 2 tickets to give a creature haste, I think is how this works. And this is why it's confusing to shit. Or you can do 5 tickets and you can cast this card from your graveyard by paying 2 life in addition to playing its other costs. So you're adding this ability to a card. Or you can do 2 tickets and change the creature's power to a 1/4, or 3 tickets to change it to a 5/3. I think that's how it works.
So the stickers tickets? What are tickets?
The tickets are cards. Other cards give you tickets. So, and they aren't until like page 2. Yeah, I know. Tickets and stickers. Here's an attraction I like. It's called Fortune Teller. When you visit it, you scry 1. It's simple, you know?
So here's the thing is, if they have something that they feel like they could be putting in the game and publishing, they can do stuff like Battle Bond, and they can do stuff like Future Sight. They have these kind of sets and these places that they can do it. Just make Unsanctioned fun. Like have it be its own thing.
So
and then they're having the problem of going, oh, it doesn't sell well. No fucking shit. Half the cards aren't legal and they're goofy as shit. And that's fine, but keep it out of legal, like card tender, whatever you want to do, because that's not what this is for. The space is make it or like have it be fun and wacky and kind of its own game, but with magic rules.
Right. And then you just have the basics in there.
You're shoving in legal goofiness.
So
that's fine. There's perfect, because in Future Sight there were cards like Steam Flogger Boss.
Yeah, that they made in
jokingly ended up being an uncard later on because they didn't make it a real card, and that's fine. If you try and you have a fairly good idea of what you're going to do for a mechanic, and you just want to spoil it in something like Future Sight or Commander sets or Commander Legends or Horizons, or there's plenty of places to put semi-experimental things to see if it's just not going to break the game, but you think it's fun. You can do that. There's places for that.
Isn't that what this set is though? Like that's what this is. But
no, that's not what this set. This is the experimental spot. This is like all the stuff you don't hear about at companies and corporations that are experimenting with shit. They're like, this might just not work. Or
the thing is,
you know what? This actually works.
But this, you don't have to play this like these. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think we're gonna see this really trickle too much besides the lands and shocks, which that was a huge thing. Like that was the huge thing that they added was the shocks into this.
You would have sold more just with this style of shocks.
Yep. Well, let me just. I want to read a ticket thing for you. So it's. You ready for the button? Ambassador, blorpity blorp.
You're good.
Blorpity blorp.
I'm not gonna hit that on you.
Blorpity blorp bloop is the name. So it's a legendary alien advisor guest, and it's 3 and a green and a blue. When it enters the battlefield, you get 3 tickets. Then you may put a sticker on a non-land permanent you own. At the beginning of each combat, you may have Ambassador blorpity blorp boop. Base power and toughness become equal to the total power of toughness. So all stickers on permanents you control. So what it's saying is you get 3 tickets, and let's just put this to use. So in this case, you could use 2 of those tickets to put a haste sticker on something, or change the power and toughness of a creature to a 1/4, or use 3 of the tickets to change the power to a 5/3. You couldn't use the 5 because you.
I'm
going
to be honest. I did not listen to what you were reading, but here's a question that I could pose to you. Why go stickers when you already have like tokens?
Stuff. Yeah, I know
that like you could just pop out and then you could potentially just put back into the card.
What they're saying with stickers is that even when the creature leaves the battlefield, it still has those abilities. So whatever you changed its stuff to, and you put the sticker on it, it gains that when it's in the graveyard as well. Or if it pops to your hand, it keeps all the sticker stuff. So if you're able to keep, I don't know, somehow getting it back. I'm not saying I like this. I'm just trying to do the Lowery Devil's Advocate stuff.
You could still have, like, this is that bullshit that they're doing with Arena, where they're like, these are cards only for Arena because they're so unique and they can only work online. And then you're like, you just worded this poorly. And so that it can only, but if you just made this one little change, this could easily be a card. It feels like you're making it harder than it needs to be to make it feel different than a counter.
Who do you think?
Could still say these counters stay because you already have that with Skullbriar. These 1/1 counters, all these counters stay on Skullbriar. Right.
That's one example though. That's like, there's no other cards that do that.
But it's they've already done it and it works and people already liked it. Why would you go with a sticker just to be more complicated?
Stickers are awesome.
No, they're not. You ruin it after the first time.
No, you just have card copies.
Would you cut it out and then put it on a different piece of paper?
I don't know how this is going to be.
To make it so it doesn't stick on things, and then it's just like a counter.
No, I agree. I mean, the stickers I'm not going to ever peel off, you know.
I'm saying, yeah, right. So how are you going to represent it without the sticker?
I'll do a little art thing and I'll draw and then put it on there. I'll staple it.
That makes sense. Staple versus.
Josh is asking if anybody wants to take a shot. No Smiths allowed. I will take a drink with you, Josh, especially for the donation stuff.
I just think, again, I think they could have done it's.
Are you more disappointed with this set than any other unset? Are you more upset about this because half of it is legal?
Right. I would agree. That would be my stance.
But
keep it
here's
fun.
Here's
keep
my
it
thought
fun.
Is like,
keep it a separate thing.
How is it affecting your play? You know, like, we're not going to see this in our groups. We're not probably.
Yeah, number 2 is doing that Comet stupid fucking dice rolling deck.
Dude, the Comet is actually
said he was going to do it.
It's a good card. Like, if you would have actually listened to what I said when I was reading it.
I don't want to. Nobody listened.
It's because it's rolling dice.
They're like, oh,
it's a good card. Right. It's a good card. Like,
you're gonna read it again? What are you doing?
I'm pulling it up just for you, buddy, right there. And he's cute. Look at it. It's a little puppy right there.
not. It's just stupid.
Why do you hate dogs?
I'm a cat person.
You don't want to play Jace?
No,
Jace in
I don't want to
space?
play Space Jace Bellerin. I'm not doing that.
Okay, so I guess I don't know. I don't know how you fix it.
I already said how you fix it.
The same thing that they've been doing is what you're saying? They don't sell. Dude, Unsanctioned still on the fucking shelf at Walmart.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
and
Don't produce as much. Do you know that like Warhammer is not going to be widely produced? They do that all the time. Like they understand that this isn't going to sell. Don't produce so much.
Unsanctioned wasn't widely produced. It's still there because there's only basic lands
because
in there.
nobody wants it.
But it's different than the Unfinity. Like Unfinity had gorgeous lands. Not saying that the Unsanctioned weren't good.
Which one was unsanctioned?
The lands?
No, which one was unsanctioned?
It was the rolling dice one. Product. It was the last one. The one with
that little product.
It had like a boxing, like the cover was boxing stuff. I don't know.
But it was just like 2 decks, right?
No. Let me pull that one up. Unsanctioned. Come on, Card Kingdom. Let's go do fun stuff. All right, I got to get the A to Z and go find Unsanctioned for you. The U's. Let's get to the U's. Come on. Unglued. Where's Unsanctioned? Unglued. There it is.
Yeah, it's Unglued, Unhinged.
So this had these lands.
Yeah. That was not in boxes or anything. I don't think.
No, it has the unsanctioned boxes like them fighting.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like 2 decks that they pitted against each other. There was reprints in there.
Yeah.
There was hardly anything new in there. If anything.
That's right. You're all right. Yeah.
So they reprinted cards that you couldn't use. Like,
that's
of
right.
course, I actually haven't seen it anywhere.
Walmart. My Walmart has probably had a box. It's the same box that's been sitting there for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And like the lands are good, but I don't like.
I think they're gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't
think they're not worth $5-6.
Yeah.
Like I'm not.
But then Sword of Dungeons and Dragons, like that was the starting of the rolling of the dice and everything like that. Like that, the rolling dice, Karark's thumb, other thumb.
Fine. That's fine.
Now
but rolling dice is not very different from, flipping coins. Very similar.
But you love rolling dice.
I mean, it doesn't matter what I like or don't like. Is it practical for a game? And so like, here's a question that I would say is like, if they went through, would you be okay with like unbanning X amount of cards from unsets?
I would be okay with it, but not a lot of people because
how many of them? Like some of them are practical.
Yeah.
Like they'd be fine. There's a cool enchantment that's not legal that says whenever you cast a spell that has choices, you can choose any amount of them. You just can't choose multiple, the same.
Remember
thing
when
awesome.
Unstable was getting, and this is my stupidity, was Unstable was getting unbanned or getting released, and they're like, we're gonna unban unsets for a month. And I didn't catch the for a month part, and so I was like, I went and just spec'd and stuff. I was like, pick these up. These are ones that are gonna be used in Commander. And they're like, oh yeah, we're just having fun with it because we're getting paid by Unstable or the by Wizards to promote the shit out of this. So they didn't say that they were, but that's kind of what happened to get that going. And
likely.
Needless to say, I have a box about this big.
Don't buy into stuff. There isn't any point in putting money into this.
Yeah, but if it was unbanned forever, then there's some of that.
Forever. If they came out and said, "Hey, we are looking at uncards to unban," like we plan on making this announcement the next unbanning session. So they gave people like 3 months to figure it out. Like guess, like I'd be fine with that. Like giving everybody an idea,
right?
But like there's some stuff that could be unbanned. There's some stuff that they could reuse and just polish up a little bit and be like, oh, that's actually broken, but we can make this right.
And that's kind of what they do a lot of times with the unsets is they go, like for example, Unstable had the.
I don't know about how often they do that.
Well, the melding, instead of doing that, they just change it to mutate, so it's going on top of the creature and it gains all
But
the
you
abilities.
already had meld as a mechanic.
No, I mean like
from-
the
No.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
see
yeah,
what you're
yeah,
saying,
yeah.
but they already had it, but with specific cards.
Yeah.
Instead of random ones. From the
yeah, and these you can
from the
meld.
second Innistrad set, it was like if you have this card and this card out, and they're
Like this
doing
one
it
right here.
in Brothers War here. But if you have this set and this set, or this card and this card together, you pay whatever the cost is, and they become a bigger card. That's much crazier than just having two cards layered on top of each other. It's like this is what that is right there, and what mutate is not very different from the like creatures turning into auras. What is that? Bestow from Theros?
Yeah.
Like that's not very different. And so like that mechanically was,
Well, I mean,
it's
this is
not
a little
crazy
different.
what they're doing right there. It could not, or it didn't have to be in an unset.
Right. But they made it so this is more like mutate is, though. Because whatever's covered here, you get rid of whatever side you decide to go
That
on.
actually probably is less confusing than what they did with mutate.
Yeah. One thing I would say is Matt Sampson was saying the only thing it's worth buying is having a weird day with drafting and stuff. I will say there is one added thing that they have for Unfinity is with all of the cards, but more specifically towards the shock lands, is you have your normal shocks, which we should just get to the shocks just to show you what those look
They're
like.
printing shocks. They're global-tastic. They're fantastic.
Yeah, but so Unfinity, let me just get that. Unfinity Shocklands. So not only are you getting there we go. The Shocklands here. Oh, you can't see them. Let's do it different. But you have different this is where it gets crazy, is they have different printings of them. So you have the regular, you have then you have the foils, and then you have galaxy foils, which are going to be looking the crazy, like I don't even know how that's going to be. So you're going to have these ultra rare things that won't ever, like there's the only way you can get them is in collector boosters, and there's a 4% chance of those ever dropping. Why aren't the Unfinity lands showing up here? Mother effer. Let's see. Oh,
they're doing everything in their power to make this set sail like a ship.
There we go. So here's the Unfinity land. So you got they just the shock lands.
They look awesome.
Look amazing. These are, I want one of every single one of these, potentially in foil. But I don't know if you'll be able to get it. But then they also have the galaxy foiling. So I don't know what those are going to get to. It looks like some of these are already selling out on Card Kingdom. $60 is what their starting price is.
No, they look awesome. I have no qualm against the art and the direction that they went with some of these cards. Like, they look fantastic. It's almost here's the thing. If they went with that art direction that they do with the lands and the shocks here in the rest of the set, it'd be gorgeous. But they went with like Saturday morning cartoon style from the early 2000s. And again, ain't nothing wrong with it if it's an unset. And so, like, if you're looking for like sales and stuff like that, like,
what do you think is the best angle with these? Are you wanting any of these singles?
No. The ones that we talked about, I'll buy Saw in Half, and I'll buy that.
Will you go for any of these shocks? You have all the shocks that you need.
Not at $60. Fuck no.
Okay.
No.
What about the basics?
It looks like there's a set of basics that are going for like $2 that are full art. I like those enough.
Yeah.
I'd buy those at $2. And if I can find like the foil versions of them, like around 3 or 4, I'd buy those.
So
but, like, there's a separate set of basics that are $5 already on Card Kingdom. Nah.
Yeah. So I would say I pre-ordered, and I was disappointed with the playability of all the stuff. Like you were kind of saying, it gets kind of crazy. It's like, Especially think of this, playing this with like newer players and explaining that kind of crap, like all the stuff that's going on there. Like it's confusing for people that are playing for a long time. I don't know how many of them I'm going to play with. I'm playing devil's advocate saying that I like that they're making part of it legal, but what I would like is maybe instead of how did I say this? One or the other, either making it so that the art is fucking goofy and then it's a playable card, kind of like Saw in Half. You know, that one seems like it's a playable card, but it has a goofy art. Or the other way around where it's, I don't know. I think I'd rather have it the goofy art with the playable card. We have secret layer stuff and then make more playable cards with just like little variation. But what they're trying to do is it's an unset. So every card has to be goofy as hell. And then that's the part where we get lost. You know, I think that's where, and the fact that they are all legal, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I'm not going to play with stickers, but I can see the attractions. The attractions actually are attractive. Get it?
All right. I'm whatever. I'm good with it. If you're having fun, I'm not here to like, if you want to play with it and you're excited about it, again, I think Samson was saying it, like it's cool to draft, and I think it's a fun thing on its own. But I think you just make it its own thing and see what's popular, see what works, see what's confusing. Like I think you just treat it as that.
Yep.
And maybe even push old sets like, hey, like fucking make it a secret layer thing and be like, hey, we have this coming out. How about if you want to order a box for $60, we'll fucking print it and ship it to you for unhinged, unglued, you know, fucking like, I don't want to pay $120 for this.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to make the product cheaper, I think.
Yeah.
I
agree.
And so it's not really Magic. Before it was not Magic. It was something experimental and fun and something that it was its own thing, and that's very cool. But you start mixing it here,
it kind of gets you. It kind of grinds your gears a little bit.
Right. You can put these things in different places. You have avenues for this. Doesn't have to be standard. You know what I mean? Doesn't have to become modern legal. You have places where you can do this. And so that's just my thought. That's all I'm saying.
I think if they would have stayed along the lines of the legal cards more like Saw in Half, where they're actually playable, I would have liked it a lot more. But all right, let's move on, because like I said, I didn't want to go 45 minutes and we went 45 minutes. So let's do it.
Excuse me. I
See
believe
if
you have my
Scryfall's back
stapler.
up. It is. Staple versus. All right, we had Azusa Lost but Seeking. Whoops, like I said, Lipper Pratt. Azusa Lost but Seeking last week.
All right.
Or this week. I say last week, but
it was last week that we debated it.
Right. And against Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Where do you personally, not where the voting ended up, where do you think that this should have gone?
Okay, so the reason why I picked this is because I do like Azusa. We've talked about Crucible of Worlds and we've talked about Ramonop Excavator. We like playing cards or lands from a graveyard, and fetches are fantastic. And so like Azusa has been really good for me for a while, because 2 lands a turn is crazy. That's good. 2 extra lands per turn.
Right.
But you made, it's very, very good points in like Dryad is a 2/4. It can block and Azusa just really can't. And the 5 color thing can be really good in your 5 and 4 and 3 color decks. Like it's pretty usable, almost all the points that you said. So I mean, like I have more
if you had one
proxies of Azusa,
because it's been around for a while,
but if I had proxies of Dryad, I would play that a lot more.
Yeah.
So I after seeing the Exile Discord like discuss it. Like it was just flat out Dryad was better, and it's probably right. So I'd say that's probably an 80-20 in Dryad's favor.
This is actually really, really fucking close. I'll give you the
really
52% to 48% is where our totals ended up.
Wow, I am surprised. I'm happy about that. I thought it was going to be a blowout. Like, okay, some people go with what.
So Discord voted 60% for Azusa Lost But Seeking. That's no surprise.
They kind of skew things. Okay, okay.
Twitter voted 60% for Dryad of the Elysian Grove.
All right.
And so we're at basically almost at
Shush, Renshai.
We're at a dead heat right here. And then YouTube voted 52% for Azusa Lost But Seeking. So Azusa takes the win at 52%. Yes.
No.
Yes, it does.
I
Get your crown on.
don't believe it.
We also did not have a full stretch of voting this week. It was only 2 days.
True.
Of
I'll take
voting.
it though.
Actually,
I'll take it.
It legitimately is. I posted it yesterday and today, so we had 2 days of voting, which I will say it really was like Discord only had like 10 votes, which I guess it was the total of last week.
Look at that.
I know, but
This is what happens with voter suppression.
Twitter is
That
normally
works.
a lot higher. We're at like 5% of our normal voting for Twitter. So Twitter didn't jump on yet because it still has another 4 days to go. So whatever, I may update it later, but I think, Azusa takes the win. Okay.
I am the champion.
You had it. You've been winning a lot. It's like the opposite of battle boxes. You are winning more often than I am winning.
I agree.
At this point.
I just must mean that I'm better at cocking off than you. So.
I like throw these good points and all this stuff, and then people are just like, no, I like Lowery. All right, so what do we got this week?
All right. You're going to be doing a braid. So Rip Apart is a red, a white, a sorcery, and then you can choose one.
I have it right here. if you
Rip
wanna read
Apart
it.
deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker, or destroy target artifact or enchantment.
It's
I
sorcery
feel like they're
speed.
cheating here. I hate the wording on this. I'm gonna admit it should have 4 modes to it.
But then they couldn't have Stump the Smith Savant flavor text at the bottom. There'd be too many things there.
Right. Yeah, that'd be okay too. But
Yeah.
because both of them say like or,
Yes.
which gives it a different. It's not and. It's 3
or.
damage to a creature, 3 damage to a planeswalker, destroy an artifact, destroy an enchantment. Those are the modes.
Yeah. And I have
Those
a braid.
4. Right.
And it's the same amount of modes that you have to choose one from.
But I have 4 options. You have
No,
2.
it shows there's like I see the little
Right.
dots right there. There's 2 of them there, and then I
Yeah.
have 2 of them. So
Yep.
we only have 2 to choose from. Mine is only a red and a colorless, so I don't have to worry
Okay.
about that extra white that's in there.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
no, most people don't have to worry about white.
Yeah,
That's fine.
I mean,
That's an
uh,
American thing to do.
So mine is an instant though, and at instant speed, I can do 3 damage to a target creature, or I can destroy an artifact. So I don't have the enchantments, but we know what the
Right.
easiest thing to get
Or
rid
the
of in Magic.
planeswalkers.
Oh,
Let's
really?
make sure.
Who plays Planeswalkers? You obviously
What?
don't. When I haven't seen you play a Planeswalker. When's the last time you played a Planeswalker?
What do you mean? Play them all the time. I
Like-
generally have like 1 in a deck.
There's so many.
So, I got-
And we
I
know
got
what the
like 20
easiest
decks
thing to
right
get
now.
rid
Like,
of in
there's
a
20 planeswalkers that I'm playing. What do
in
you
a
want?
commander game is
do you want?
enchantments. So the enchantment part doesn't even matter. So we're dealing with artifacts.
Yeah, enchantments are the easiest to
easiest
kill.
thing
I
to get rid
agree.
of.
So,
Yeah, so
that's
who cares
whatever.
about that even being in there?
Just the flexibility of Rip Apart to be able
It's not
to
an
target
instant, dude. It's
4
not an instant.
different. It's not an instant because
There's
it's
stuff
better.
happening. You're only dealing with 25% of a turn cycle. I get to deal with 100% of a turn cycle and deal with what threats happen and when they happen, or if there's, it's about to be my turn. Then I'm like, all right, instant
Let's be
speed.
honest. You
boop.
tap out all the time, unless it's
I do not
unless
tap
it's
out all the
Cyclonic
time.
Rift or Teferi's protection mana. I'm not worried about it.
That was you last game. You cast both of those spells in one game. How did you
They
not
were like
win?
really close to each other. It was like
If you-
2 turns apart.
I wish I could have done. If you don't win this game, it's like almost doing an ultimate with the planeswalker like you gave me. Like, how are you not winning if you did an ultimate? How did you not win
They
just
used
off of
them right.
Tavari's protection and then
I used them right. I
Cyclonic
wasn't just gonna have them
Rift.
sit in my hand.
I will also say that if we're in this scenario, we're dealing with white and red, right? There's so many more better white removal spells at instant speed and that deal with enchantments that are better than Rip Apart. I would not play
Wait,
Rip
you gonna
Apart.
put in like Disenchant?
Yeah, Disenchant's better than Rip Apart. I'd put in
It's better than Abrade too.
Heliod's Intervention. I'd play other white stuff if you're dealing with white here. I'd play
agree.
some better stuff.
Right.
Return
I
to
would-
Dust.
You keep on picking. No, I would not. But you're picking cards that are
wouldn't?
better than both Abrade and Rip Apart.
Right. I'm just saying, like, if we have white little splashed in here and you're trying to deal with
What do
the
you mean?
enchantment part
Just
of it,
look,
if you're
not
trying to deal with
everybody
the
builds
enchantment part
red
of it,
white decks like you, where it's like 90% red, and then
And
you're like,
I
this
will
is a mono
tell you-
red deck. It's
I
like,
will
well, there's
tell
white
you-
in there.
Rip Apart is not in a single one of my decks. Not a single one of my decks. I haven't even thought
How many
that
is
is never-
Abrade in?
like 30, like more than I have decks.
You don't. Yeah, that's because you're lying.
No,
That's
It's like-
how lying
it's
works.
like every
you
deck that I'm going to
over-exaggerate
put
so that
in
when you
every deck. It's-
undercompensate, it doesn't seem so bad.
I like instant speed stuff. When you're playing, like, if it's a sorcery, I want my sorceries to be like overpowered. Rip Apart is just like me, and it's a sorcery. It's a sorcery.
It's the flexibility that you
It's
like.
doing what
though.
you do in
I could-
dice rolling.
Okay, let's trade off back and forth, and I'll go first, so it sounds even worse for me. But I could deal 3 damage to a creature. Can you do that?
Well, who cares about
Yes, you did.
planeswalkers?
Okay, can you do 3 damage to a planeswalker? No, not really.
Can you do it on other
You could
people's
destroy
turn?
an artifact.
Let's
yeah,
say
me too.
somebody plays a threat that's going to win the game. Can you do it on their turn? Oh,
What
no, you
threat
can't.
Are you dealing with that 3 damage?
Everything. The 3 damage.
Everything?
I would have killed.
everything.
I would have killed Glenn. I would have killed Glenn last game if I would have had a braid. I wouldn't have killed with Rip Apart. When you're going to attach those boots to Glenn, I would have been like, a braid, boom, your Glenn is dead, and then I don't lose. I don't die.
I don't
Touchdown!
think I had boots on Glenn. I think you're making up
Vikings.
scenarios in your head.
Touchdown!
Like that's a practical thing. Like,
it's something
that's
that just
fine.
happened.
but then
'Cause-
you could probably just go blow up the boots or the greaves,
was-
and you're fine too.
yeah, but then Glenn's still alive, and then I still die.
But he just block.
No, I couldn't block.
I didn't even. Oh, yeah, the winged boots things.
Yeah, yeah. Touchdown!
You tried.
Touchdown! If you guys want to check out that video, it is the last.
Nobody's
Commander
listening
game.
to you, Renshai, because you know that I directed this at you. I did this because I was trying to put Rip Apart into my defensive Ishin deck, and Renshai just kept on going, Abrade is better. Abrade is better. So he's just spamming our chat right now. And he's trying to come up with, he's just helping you. So if you're like, why would Lowery do Rip Apart? Like, just read.
But the funny
Just read
thing
the
is
chat.
he's ripping
That's
you, but he'll still vote for you.
I don't think so. I don't think so on this one. I think I lose on this one.
Oh, you heard it first, guys.
right. Renshai votes everywhere. Like, he's devoted and he's a good man. He's
Yep.
a good man. So
I just had a list of negatives on your side, and I just all these positives.
but what's that?
on-
It's the sorcery, and
That's a huge thing. Instant and sorcery is really big. It's real big, huge, big old. You know.
here's one thing that they do. Like, they try, and when it's a sorcery and you're like, oh, why isn't this an instant? It's because it's that powerful.
But that's what
they
I'm
create
saying.
more powerful.
This
How
one
many
isn't-
how
this
many
one
Wrath
isn't
of Gods
more
do they have
powerful.
at instant speed?
This one,
Very little.
This one
Very
isn't
little.
the more powerful. That's what I'm saying. Is like a braid is better, and it's like it's not like you would think that this Rip Apart should have like do 3 damage to target creature and planeswalker, or 3 damage to target creature and player. Like, choose all of them to be better. Like or choose destroy target artifact and enchantment, because it's at sorcery speed. If it had that, then yeah, I'd be like, all right, you win.
The flexibility's
I'll
there.
tip my hat
and
to you.
I think there's a lot of missed potential, because when you have there is not a huge difference between this and something like Chaos Warp.
But that's
because
instant.
I can target anything.
That's instant.
Yeah, that is instant. I agree with you, but it's at 3
huge.
mana too.
It
could just hit just about anything that you want. And Abrade misses half of what you can hit. Chaos Warp hits everything.
What do we have the most in this game besides creatures? What's our second
enchantments? Lands. Lands.
No, you fucker. Enchantments. How does this always switch to whatever we're arguing? I don't get it. Oh, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. That's probably why you always win. Oh, I do have to add one more thing. Abrade is in 74,000 EDH rec decks. Where do you think Rip Apart is?
Under 5.
Yeah, it's 17,000. That's still 17,000.
17,000? Better than I thought. It's been around at a shorter time. Abrade's been out for quite some time at this point.
Yeah, it has. And I mean, whatever. That didn't prove anything last week.
Right.
Like
because this is better.
Dryad was in. Wait, it's actually like almost a
Clearly.
flip flop. The Azusa was in 61, not flip flop completely. 61,000. Dryad has only been out for about the same time as Rip Apart because Strixhaven came after, and that was or Dryad was 73,000. So it's like, well, I have the bigger one on each. Oh yeah, never mind. I'm just saying numbers and stuff. My last thing is, especially lately when I build decks, I like playing instant speed stuff a lot more than the sorcery stuff because it's almost like my counter spell in a way. I have an answer, kind of like you did in the last game when you had an answer for Glenn, or for everything that I was doing or anybody was doing. You had an answer because you were acting in instant speed. Just like if I would have had Abrade in my hand at that time in the right color of deck, Rip Apart wouldn't have worked in that deck because it's white. Abrade being in my hand, I would have been able to survive that last turn when we were playing Mime Commander, which was interesting in itself.
How about this? Like, it depends on the type of player, right? You're saying instant speed, which means that you always have to be paying attention, always present at the table. And
which you should be in a Commander game.
If I have Rip Apart in my deck and I have it in my hand, I know that when I'm done, I can set it down and go get a piece of pizza. I can go get a beer. I could just be like, "Hey, folks, I'm out. I can't do anything," and nobody's afraid of you. At that point
pizza argument instead of being
it's that pizza argument
instead of being engaged with your friends and having conversations with people you're playing with.
Right.
I mean, that's
I don't have to pay attention to any of you because I have no interaction. It's fine. It's fine.
Lowery.
I would just say build a better deck.
That's all I got to say.
I'm pretty sure I won.
All right, you guys can vote for this on YouTube. You guys can vote for this on Twitter. This will be a longer. Well, no, I'll still post it on the day that we normally do. You also can vote for this on the Discord. We'll announce the winners the next time we do the podcast. Just a reminder, you might as well follow us on. If you're not a part of the Discord, follow us on YouTube and Twitter, because that's how you're going to know what the next thing's going to be coming out. I don't know when the next episode is. We're going to try to shoot for the next Monday, which would be the second week in October. But we don't know at this point. It'll be up in the air. We'll have it. It's going to happen. I'm bringing all the equipment with. And thank you guys, all you guys that donated for the stuff. I'll send some pictures and stuff like that of things that we're doing and all that for your donations and stuff. So, all right. So that should do it for this week. We will catch you guys in, I guess, a week and a half or whatever. We'll catch you guys soon in like a week or so.
We're going to have for 2 weeks.
Something like that. All right.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
I love boobs. I'm talking tatas. I love boobs. I'm bonkers for honkers.
Thanks, guys.
I love boobs. Thanks for the memories. I love boobs.